Hi everyone, this is Justin Aquino of Gaming the Brain, and we're going to I'm going to show you how I use the external rules as written Cephas engine ship spreadsheet. So there are a number of ships that I have not yet made the three. Me and Nico were not able to make a 3D model about. So I've just okay. I've encoded the merchant liners specifications, and I have a problem. Uh, According to the stats, there's only should be 49 tons, uh, 46 tons of cargo. Um, so this is the stats. Okay, so I had to break it up because I could not read the block of text. Sorry, I'm not. I'm an old man with a really bad vision. So I have a particularly a history of astigmatism. So horizontal reading from left to right. Yeah, uh, my optical character recognition is not as good as it used to be. So yeah, I am not really good at reading huge blocks of text. As for comparison, yeah, that's how it normally is written. But even if I write it, if I you look at it here, so mounts these drives, uh, 38 tons of fuel tanks. Let's see if I encoded it correctly. Yep, 38 tons, and then it operates at 38. So if you look into the scripts, you'll notice that um, yeah, got disconnected. So anyway, the yeah, I double checked the tonnages, and yeah, it looks like it's all okay. 35 units is um 35 units is 140 d tons, 20 d tons, 20 units of low passage is call this 10 d tons, 1 million. Fuel scoops, oh, I think I overdid the fuel scoops. Fuel scoops should only be 2. So fuel scoops, 2 tons of fuel. No, there's. But I know you can have up to uh number of fuel scoops per your ton. So let's just review the rules. Fuel scoops. Fuel scoops. And ship have fuel scoops built in. Oh, no tonnage. Fuel scoops. Yeah, just it's a looks like it's a binary. Oops, I can't update it. Okay. Yeah, until my internet's back on. So that's just either way, it does not have a tonnage effect. And then fuel processors, 2D tons, 50,000 per fuel processor. Yeah, so 100,000. So the question is, why was the cargo 46 tons? Um, so yeah, I encountered some of these problems. That's why I spelled it out and broke it down to a spreadsheet. What does it mean? It had around, so when I typed in 46 tons, oops, I can't use it. When I typed in 46 tons, 13 tons appear here. So the formula of this is it sums the d tons of the hull and of course includes these negative d tons, which is how much space this all consumes. Up to here, the next is the call this the cargo, and these d tons are calculated against this cargo. So supply. So I guess I'm gonna have to add a lot of repair supplies and a lot of vac suits. But when the connection gets back on. Um, okay. Let me just check. Okay, so the internet's back, and I can uh fix some of the one of the minor mistakes where I should have um call this 1 unit of fuel scoops. Okay, it updated. That's good. So yeah, when I typed in 48, when I typed in merchant liner, when I typed in 48, uh, yeah, 48, it looked like fuel scoops have no impact. So there was an excess amount of tons of 46, I mean. 46, yeah, 46. So that was unfortunate. So we might as well go 59. I thought of adding 30 more tons because a jump is 10% of the D tons of the ship. So at jump 1. But I can leave it up to the players to get inflatable, portable, uh, call this expandable tanks, fuel tanks. That wouldn't be a problem. Uh, call this. So yeah, you can probably do that here and modify it. But for now, we're gonna stick with the this. So call this. So I'm gonna have Nico build the 3D rendering of this 300D ton. It's gonna be slightly bigger than the merchant trader. So we usually do is we use Blender. And Blender has a volume calculator. So I just need a silhouette that's around 50% bigger. Okay. Later on, if we really do well and we have a we can fund a Godot engine, we'll build a very detailed hard sci-fi shipbuilder. I think hard sci-fi will be accessible if all the calculations and all the implications are explained by not just the system but by an AI, giving options to the GM and um, explaining the impact and the calculations of all this information. It's okay. So I guess we will carry. Let's just carry 10 tons. So let's carry 15 tons of repair supplies. We don't want to be stranded. If you want to add, if you want to add weapons, so I think I overdid this when I inserted the rows. Okay, let's let's delete these rows. Okay. Uh, so if okay, so I so you'll notice that the system is saying one pilot, one navigator, one engineer, and four stewards. No redundancy whatsoever. Um, yeah. So background, I'm also the safety officer and stuff. 35 or probably 60 souls plus 20 and you don't have any redundancy in your crew. And of course, there's no captain. I went ahead and did the captain. Uh, you'll also notice that we created um, call this rules in space combat for tiered tiered sensors. Sensors still of whatever TL has the same range. It doesn't affect the range. It affects when you're opposing each other. Opposing each other. Nice fun fact. Me and Nico were studying the new article about the muons. Cosmic rays being used as a densometer. So you could imagine that it's our present day TL, and already we are now using densometers, density sensors, through cosmic rays. I'd love to go into deep dive on how the technology works and how I would describe the sensor officer interpreting the data and the data that the sensor officer said. But like I'll save that for another time. Okay. Yeah. So this is how I would fix it. Typically I would take notes. I would put notes about like the weaponry. But since so you'll notice like there'll be PB is particle beam, 2F is two fighters, 1 is the ship's boat. This yeah, I'm starting out. I don't really these are not set in stone. I'll change it if there'll be uh, I work on a pull system, so if there's a problem, that's when there's a problem and the problem can be understood. That's when a systematic solution comes in and kicks in. Uh, but I focus on something. I'm focusing on it being usable. So yeah. So you'll notice some calculations here. The break even. Um, call this the break even calculations, the fees, the birthings fees. So uh crew salaries per month, fuel per month. This assumes uh call this two jumps per month, because you tend to stick around for a while. Birth and fees, admin fees, mortgage and return investment. So you'll notice there's no life support cost. This is one of the rules we introduced. Because there's a long argument in the book why you don't need it, but bottom line, it'll make your math so much easier. And if you're playing, if you're a fan of Andy Weir, Daniel Suarez and Delta V, and those hard sci-fi puzzles where you're trying to solve a logistical problem, uh, the current rules as written of how the life support is supposed to be maintained is a liability. It's gonna give you a headache. So if we did this well, I did this because I run these kinds of games. I love these kinds of games. So I don't want you to have that problem. I want it that you um as hard sci-fi becomes more a harder sci-fi. It's a relative position. Harder sci-fi becomes more accessible as our education improves and as we understand more about like how the technology works. Um, call this reduce the barrier for entry to make it easier for others. Okay, so I did the I'm gonna call this for modeling. So I will turn this blue to signal Nico to generate it. Why is it called the merchant freighter? Oh yeah, it's freighter. Yeah, it's a merchant freighter. I'm confusing it with uh the Bosco is a ship in 2 parsec. The book you get in call this when you buy World Generator. It's an adventure, so you'll have all these other books you'll have all these other books. Okay, so uh, I'll make a shorter version of this tutorial. Uh, the longer version is hopefully gives you warns you of the risks. Okay, so let's clear this up. Let's just give it a one bracket. Let's just, yeah, let's keep it one bracket because it gets really long. So I'm using groups. Okay, let's use the, okay, there's now the frontier trader. Let's go back and check what the stats of the frontier trader is. If I remember right, it's also 300 detons. Yeah, it's a 300 deton. So what I use is a patrol cruiser as a setup. So let's close. So what I did was you can copy all of this and it'll push the sheet down. So copy. So I go to the frontier trader. So we're gonna build. I'm gonna show you how long it takes me to build a ship, and I'm gonna show you a really hard ship to do, which is the research vessel. Insert below. Oh, sorry. Uh, uh, paste. Okay. Okay. It looks like I need to insert a large amount of space. I can always delete. So insert below. What the hell? Okay. I have to expose that. Okay. Let's try that. Insert above. Actually, yeah. Okay. So we were supposed to do the frontier. So okay, we were supposed to do the frontier trader. So if you want to edit the name, if you look at it here, it takes the name from here. Why there? And why not the other way around? Because this is actually just designed so that you can cut and paste this into a doc file or a Windows file. And later on, I noticed when you cut and paste this to a document file, that's when you can copy paste it into Roll20. Otherwise, when you copy this directly to Roll20, Roll20's HTML, JavaScript, CSS, whatever, does not accept the format. So, okay, let's go Frontier Trader. Let's arm it. Frontier Trader. Let's go with 3 particle beams, 6 missiles. Uh 3 particle beams. That's because it's really expensive. And is that how much is a particle beam again? And maybe like uh 6 uh lasers. 6 uh beam lasers. Okay, let's make it like that. Uh okay, let's hide that so that there's more space. Okay. Uh so let's go look at the stats. 300 deton hull. Yup. Hull has standard configuration, steel. So just 2 points of armor. 1 ton is enough for 2 points of armor. 1 unit is enough for 2 points of armor. We can go half unit, so it's 15 detons. And then it has mounts B, jump drive B. What? A frontier trader is only jump drive B? Okay. 2G. So maneuver drive C, fusion plant C. Okay. Says here thrust 2. Okay. So yeah, the system has it's referencing the table, so it automatically does the that calculation. So it says here 42 tons. So it has only good for one jump. So the frontier trader is only really? Oh, it's because it has a lot of cargo. Let's see if there's a mistake in the cargo calculations. Okay, next. Um, yeah. So what the hell? That's so I copy pasted it. So there was an error. It's looking for fusion plant. I'm like, no, it shouldn't. Okay. So this is 10 hardened. Typically I get the one specialist that can be used for the but it doesn't seem like it needs it. So I guess it's just going to be um let's see if we bring adjacent bridge. So it's a model 2. So I tend to get hardened because it's a frontier. Uh so you can have this as the backup. So one unit. Wait, do I have to double check? Did I forget to put one unit in the other in the trader? In the Yeah, let's put that for modeling. Let's see if I put it properly. I forgot. Yeah, there are no detons in this. Don't worry, I'm gonna fix that. I already have one on the pipeline, a new ship generator that's gonna be JavaScript web based. Call this. It's just gonna be really complicated. So uh yeah, hopefully I get enough funding. It's uh okay. Okay, remove group. I will. Uh-oh. Did I just copy over something? Okay, so that's why I shouldn't have done that. Okay, let's go back. I don't know how that happened. Let's check. After merchant line, this is merchant liner, frontier trader, frontier trader, raider. Did I copy over raider? Yeah, I copied over raider. Okay, that was a bad thing. So yeah, that's one of the things that can happen. Thankfully, Google keeps. It's yeah, okay. Don't know why that happened. Okay. Let's put 60. Let's insert 60. So that should be 330. Third above. So let's copy the patrol frigate again. Okay. Uh okay. Again, did I harm something? Nope, the raider is still there. Uh Frontier trader. Frontier trader. Uh 3 particle beams, 6 beam lasers. So beam lasers are if you can afford it, get 9 particle beams if you can, because its range is really good. It's also a really good defense weapon since you have defense in depth. You can keep shooting the missiles as you get approach. It's also great offensively. Um, it's great offensively. Yeah. Would you let? Mm, but the thing about it is, I'm thinking maybe this particle beam would be reserved for military ships. Okay. It's too good. It's too good as an offensive weapon. We'll have combat simulations to demonstrate that. So again we will um, uh, encode. So 1 unit uh, thrust is C. Uh, Jump is B. C, because it's our most power intensive. And then 42 tons. Copy this here. Uh, so civilian sensors. So standard sensors already come free. Civilian sensors. So I already allowed. I created a more expensive TL9, so you can still access military sensors even if it's below your TL. It's just that it's just so much more expensive. It's there in the book. Because it's weird that you wouldn't have military grade sensors at an earlier TL. Uh, Staterooms, 25 staterooms. 25, and then low berth. Low berth. So this the flavor text changes. We'll put 12. So make sure that these are at negative. Only thing positive should be the detons. Sometimes like it accidentally touch it. 12 low passengers. Okay. Um Sorry. I do this usually with my second screen, but since I'm showing how I do it with just one screen, it's gonna take a bit longer. So staterooms low berth. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this emergency low berth. So I delete the entire row. Is there fuel scoops? 3 tons of fuel processors and fuel scoops. Okay. So modules, fuel scoops, 1. 3 tons of fuel processors. Okay. Uh, Ship carries 21 high passengers. or 42. Yeah. Ship. Okay. One pilot, one navigator, and three gunners, two stewardess. Three. Again, no ship merchant in the frontier. It's weird. One pilot, one engineer, three. Uh, so one of the things you'll realize when you play this game how important gunners are. So by the way, what I do is copy. So I just copy and then I put stewards. So how many stewards do I need? Three gunners and two stewards. Three gunners and two stewards. Okay. So yeah, you gotta fix this. This is like gunner zero maybe. You want somebody with gunner two, or it's gonna be it's a big deal if you look at the sample combat, it's a big deal. Uh, uh, don't take my word for it. Well, yeah, you gotta like. In the end of the day, it's best if you play the mechanics and the system and check it out. Okay. Uh, okay. Now that I fixed that, I have to double check if the cargo usually. Okay, so usually as we go down, the cargo is. Ooh. Oh, it has its own weapon recommendation. Ooh. Pulse lasers are so short range. Okay. Okay. Uh, yeah, you just optimize it when you finally have a system. I guess, yeah, design wise, you'd think that you're doing yourself a favor with those pulse lasers. Uh, call this. So, yeah, cargo is 75. Negative already. Fuel processors. Bay fighter. Oh, yeah, we're not gonna have any bay fighters. Delete row. Also delete the bay fighters. Uh, so okay, few scoops, one, so 15 can be hidden or fixed up on holder. Was this missile rack, triple turrets? Okay, so we need, according to this, it's oh, I'll have to follow their design. Uh, what you call this? Pulse lasers, 6. Sandcasters. Uh, yeah. So why is there 15? So you see the 100 canisters of ammunition? Let's put it here. So let's copy. So let's put sand package. 20 barrels of sand. So we need 5. Uh, no smart missiles needed. Yeah, this is going to be probably 30. Ah, is that too much? Yeah. Well, the nice thing about this design is people can like disagree and like tweak it. Okay. Uh, Again, this is why is there a 15-ton discrepancy? So did I forget to calculate something? It's all written out. Okay, computer one at least. Okay, the software doesn't occupy any space, but it has costs. Sensors, standard from the bridge does not have any. Um, Civilian has D tons. 25 staterooms times 4. Look at the calculator, how it maths. Is it nope, I mean, it's correct. It's correct. Okay, so 91, it's close to the cost. 83. Oh yeah, it's close because it's minus 10% discount. Uh so yeah. Uh yeah, I think this is correct. So you'll see here the operating cost, the cost per month. So you have to make 500,000 to break even in a month. Note that you since it takes 1 week to jump, you're in jump space for 1 week. Not in the hard sci-fi version, but yeah, you jump. In the hard sci-fi versions, you're instantaneously in that place, but you still have. But you since jump points are in Barry centers and in what's that term? Long range points of the largest stellar bodies in a system. Sometimes you have to travel a ways, so you lose time traveling from the jump point to that. But jumping from one jump point to another is instantaneous. Instantaneous. So that's one. That's how the jump works in meme. Uh, so that way, it's more open for hard sci-fi, especially when you're traveling. Which also makes you travel through the system more, because here since you jump on the main world, it and it's not clear where the jump point is. It's up to you. You don't get to explore the system. The main characters of a system is the habitable world, and that's it. You don't get to explore because you don't get to explore the system. The science, the planetary science, is kind of like thrown out the window. I mean, uh, you if you because if you throw it out the window, you don't see how awesome our solar system is. And that's one of the things like I want to convey. Like our solar system is kind of awesome, and you want to look forward to them exploring Uranus, which they're sending a probe to, and they're asking the internet for to name it. You want people to look forward to exploring our solar system. It's not a bad place. So yeah, I hope the science literacy can be made more interesting here. Uh, okay, and yeah, Expanse made the harder sci-fi more accessible by a big degree. Uh, okay, so this is kind of weird. So I'm gonna add it. 15 plus 75. What's that? 90. Okay. Plus this does not include the 10% discount. So yeah, that's you have 69 usable tons. Um, so this is a total number of crew. So you might have to allocate rooms for this crew. Again, we are a frontier trader. We will want uh, what you call this? We will want call this. We want redundancy. Um, since the cargo, there's a lot of cargo. It can probably store another 30 tons for a second jump. If you have flexible fuel tanks. Okay, so let's signal for this is a way for Nico to know that this is um for modeling. Okay, now this is where it's uh gonna be interesting. Uh, okay. since it's gonna probably take more than an hour and already been 39 minutes, I'll save the harder. I'll separate the research vessel creation for another session. So yeah, this is just Nakino demonstrating how to use the spreadsheet. I hope this is far easier than having to do the manual counting yourself. If you have any problems, feel free to comment. Feel free to um, so the people who bought uh, uh, Space Combat full, which indicates that there's going to be a lot of stuff here. It's just I plan to release a pay what you want for just the rules, and some freebie, some minor giveaways. Um, uh, if you have any concerns, please tell us. I won't honestly, like me and Nico making all this stuff is our attention is oversaturated since I have to study VS Code and all these other things. So I'm and we're also learning more stuff about Blender, particularly about geometry nodes and how to make all this stuff. So since our attention is kind of like scattered and we're trying to like and we're just two-man operation and we're selling at below market cost for the same deliverables. Uh we can't really tell when when we fucked up, so we kind of like depend on our clientele to tell us that you fucked up. So yeah, feel free to tell us when we fuck up. We'll be super grateful. uh Hope you guys enjoy, and this makes your life much easier. It makes your GM run games more often. You get to play more often, and it's less intimidating to get into the nitty-gritty of it. And yeah, um this is just Nakino signing off.